I'm a high school teacher, and I've been getting anonymous letters that reveal things about my students I shouldn't know. This is eating me alive, and I can't tell anyone at work without potentially ruining lives, so here I am on a throwaway account. I teach English at a public high school in Colorado, junior and senior level classes, about 120 students total. I've been teaching for 6 years and I love these kids. They're smart, funny, resilient, the usual mix of overachievers, slackers, athletes, theater kids, the ones who are just trying to survive. 3 weeks ago, I found an envelope in my classroom mailbox. Plain white, no return address, my name typed on the front. Inside was a single typed page. No signature, no identifying information. It said, check Marcus Webb's locker, 3rd period. He's been dealing Adderall to half the honors students. His supplier is his own psychiatrist who overprescribes because Marcus' mom pays cash bonuses. I almost threw it away. Anonymous tips are usually garbage, jealous ex-girlfriends, pranks, kids trying to get someone in trouble. But something about the specificity bothered me, the detail about the cash bonuses, the mention of 3rd period specifically. I didn't check Marcus' locker. That felt like a massive violation without actual evidence. But I started watching him more carefully. And yeah, there were signs I'd been ignoring. The subtle handshakes that lasted too long. The way certain kids would linger by his locker between classes. The fact that our top 10% students suddenly all seemed jittery and exhausted. A week later, another letter. Emily Rodriguez hasn't eaten a full meal in 47 days. She drinks energy drinks and chews gum to suppress appetite. Her parents think she's at volleyball practice, but she's at the rec center using the scale every day. Her goal weight is 89 pounds. She's 57. Do the math. This one hit different. Emily is in my 4th period class. Sits front row, always participates, bright kid with a full ride to Stanford already lined up. And yeah, now that I thought about it, she did look thinner. The oversized hoodies. The way she always had coffee or Red Bull. How she'd started wearing long sleeves even when it was warm. I thought about going to the school counselor. But with what? An anonymous letter. That could backfire spectacularly. Emily could deny everything, her parents could lawyer up, and I'd be the teacher who made unfounded accusations about an eating disorder based on an anonymous tip. But I also couldn't unknow what I now suspected, so I did something small. I started bringing extra snacks to class, offered them to everyone, casual, no pressure. Emily never took any. The 3rd letter came 5 days ago. David Kim isn't going to Yale. His dad forged the acceptance letter because David didn't get in anywhere. The family has been throwing parties, posting on social media. David's been getting congratulations for weeks. His dad made a fake email account pretending to be Yale admissions. David doesn't know it's fake. He's going to find out in August when he tries to set up his student account. His dad's been paying for Yale merch online and photoshopping documents. The father is desperate because his other son dropped out, and the family lost face in their community. I had to sit down when I read this one. David is a good kid, quiet, hardworking under intense pressure from his family. I'd seen his dad at parent-teacher conferences, demanding, critical, the kind of parent who thinks a 95% is a failure. And David had seemed different lately, more stressed than excited. I chalked it up to senior year anxiety. But a fake acceptance letter, that psychological torture waiting to happen, that's a kid who's going to have a complete breakdown in a few months. 4th letter arrived yesterday. Jessica Nguyen's boyfriend is 32. She tells everyone he's 19 and in college. He picks her up in different cars so no one recognizes the vehicle. They met when she was 15. Her parents think he's a tutor. He's been grooming her for 2 years. Check her 2nd Instagram account under the name at Jessica Backup. I felt sick reading this one. Jessica is 17, a senior, smart and capable, but also young and naive in ways she doesn't realize. And if this is true, it's not just concerning, it's criminal. This isn't something I can ignore or handle quietly. But here's my problem. I have no proof of anything, just anonymous letters that could be from anyone, a vindictive student, a concerned friend who's scared to come forward, a parent who noticed something. Hell, it could be another teacher who doesn't want to put their name on it. Or it could be someone playing a sick game, making things up, trying to get me to act on false information that will destroy these kids' lives. I've started noticing things I never paid attention to before. The way Marcus does have kids approach him at weird times. How Emily's wrists look tiny when her sleeves ride up. David's forced smile when people congratulate him about Yale. Jessica's phone lighting up with texts from study group at odd hours. But noticing isn't proof, and acting without proof could be catastrophic. I checked Jessica's Instagram. There is an account under at Jessica Backup. It's private. I can't see anything without following it, and I absolutely cannot follow a student's secret Instagram account. That's a fireable offense and probably illegal. Last night, I got a fifth letter. It was different, shorter. You're a mandated reporter. You've known for 3 weeks. How many more letters do you need? How much more specific do I need to be? At what point does your inaction become complicity? That line has been playing in my head non-stop, because they're right. I am a mandated reporter. If I have reasonable suspicion of abuse, neglect, or danger, I'm legally required to report it. But here's what keeps me paralyzed. What if I'm wrong? If I report Marcus for dealing drugs based on an anonymous letter and it's false, his college applications are destroyed. He loses scholarship opportunities. His record is marked forever. If I report Emily for an eating disorder and she's actually fine, just naturally thin or going through a phase, I've violated her privacy and damaged our relationship. Her family could sue the school. If I tell David his Yale acceptance might be fake and it's actually real, I've put doubt in his head and destroyed his confidence right before graduation. And if I report Jessica's boyfriend and it turns out he's actually 19 like she says, or doesn't exist at all, I've humiliated her and potentially triggered an investigation into her family for no reason. But what if I'm right? What if Marcus is dealing and someone overdoses? What if Emily collapses from malnutrition? What if David has a breakdown when the truth comes out? What if Jessica's being abused and I stayed silent? I've been teaching long enough to know that teenagers' lives are complicated. I've seen kids who seem fine fall apart overnight. I've seen kids I was certain were in crisis turn out to be totally okay. Adolescence is messy and confusing, and nothing is ever as simple as it looks. But I've also seen the kids we missed, the ones who were crying for help in ways we didn't recognize, the ones who fell through the cracks because adults didn't want to get involved or weren't sure enough to act. This morning I found another letter, the sixth one. It contained printouts, bank statements with names redacted but amounts visible, cash withdrawals matching the dates the first letter mentioned, a screenshot of medical records, how did they get this, showing multiple Adderall prescriptions for Marcus from the same doctor over 6 months, a photo of Emily on a scale at the rec center, the number visible, 94 pounds, a side-by-side comparison of David's Yale letter with an actual Yale acceptance letter, showing subtle formatting differences, and a photo of Jessica in a car with someone who is definitely not 19. He looks mid-30s easily. The photo is taken from a distance but clear enough. His hand is on her thigh. No note this time, just evidence, real, actual evidence. I have everything in a folder in my locked desk drawer. I've looked at it probably 50 times today. Each time I think I'm ready to take it to administration, I freeze. Because I keep coming back to one question: who is sending these letters? It's someone with access to private information, medical records, bank statements, Instagram accounts, photos taken at specific times and places. This isn't a concerned student who noticed something odd. This is someone conducting surveillance. What if the person sending these letters is dangerous? What if they're stalking these kids? What if by reporting this, I'm playing into something worse? Or what if they're a hero? Someone who saw things going wrong and knew the only way to fix it was to force an adult to act. I looked at the envelope from today more carefully. The postmark is local. The paper is standard printer paper from any office supply store. The typing is a basic font, probably Calibri or Arial. There are no fingerprints because they're wearing gloves. You can see slight impressions on the paper edge where fabric pressed down. This person is careful, methodical. They've been watching these kids closely enough to document patterns, take photos, access records that should be private. That should scare me. It does scare me. But it also might be saving lives. I teach a class on ethical dilemmas in literature. We just finished The Ones Who Walk Away from OMLAs, the story where a utopian society's happiness depends on one child's suffering in darkness, and citizens have to choose whether to accept that or walk away. I always asked my students, what would you do? Would you stay and benefit from the suffering? Would you walk away? Would you try to free the child even if it meant destroying everything? Now I'm living my own version. I have information that could help 5 students. But getting that information might have required someone doing terrible things. Using it might mean validating those methods, and I still don't know if the information is even real or complete. The letters are on my desk, the evidence is in my drawer, my hand is on my phone. I have to make a decision by tomorrow because there's a staff meeting where we do welfare check-ins on students. If I'm going to say something, that's when I need to do it. But I still don't know if I'm helping or hurting. if I'm being manipulated or enlightened, if I'm a mandated reporter doing my job or a pawn in someone else's twisted game. Update 4 hours later. I just got a 7th letter, hand-delivered this time, slipped under my classroom door during my planning period. Tomorrow is too late for one of them. Tonight, if you need more proof, check the parking lot at 11 p.m., far corner by the baseball fields. Jessica will be there, so will he, so will I. I don't know if this is a warning or a threat or an invitation. I don't know if I should go. I don't know if I should call the police. I don't know if this is all an elaborate hoax. But I do know that in 6 hours, I have to decide if I'm driving to that parking lot. Edit asterisk for everyone saying, just call the police, or just report it. I hear you. But this isn't that simple. If I call the cops to a school parking lot at 11 p.m. based on anonymous letters, and Jessica is there with her 19-year-old boyfriend studying like she says, I've just traumatized a student and her family. If I report all of this to administration without verification, 5 students' lives get turned upside down during college application season based on what could be fabricated evidence. Edit 2 asterisk. Some of you are asking why I haven't tried to figure out who's sending the letters. I've been racking my brain. It has to be someone with access to the school, the mailbox, knowledge of the student's specific details, and time to conduct surveillance. Another teacher, a parent, a student, I genuinely don't know. Edit 3 asterisk. It's 9:47 p.m. I'm sitting in my car in my driveway. I still haven't decided if I'm going to the school. Part of me thinks this is a trap. Part of me thinks it's the only way to know the truth. Part of me thinks I should call the police right now. The letters are in a manila envelope on my passenger seat. My phone is at 78% battery. The school is 12 minutes away. I have an hour to decide what kind of teacher I am.